Exactly. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Love in Black and White. I am one of your co-hosts, the Coco co-host, the one, the only, Manuelis Rojas Martin Junior. And to my left or right, whichever way you're looking, I don't know. It may be different for me, but it's the one, the only, the sexy Big Irish Jay Hollingsworth. How you doing, Jay?
What's up? Look at my dude. We're both wearing like a peach pink,
Oh
but
shit! What is this?
mine looks like my skin. I just look like a bag of bones.
Just look naked.
I am great. I was in Tempe this weekend, and actually, I'm going to give a shout out. Not on here; it'll be on the Hollingsworthless. For some people that came out and saw me here in Vegas and in Tempe, but I'm going to do it on the Hollingsworthless.
Nice.
So we can, on this podcast, we can focus on fucking.
It's hilarious. So my glasses, like part of them looks like it's cutting off like a side of my head and shit. But
it is. You can Cookie McJingles is in the what's up, Cookie? You can adjust it in your video stuff, but nobody gives a fuck on that's if they're listening to this. Let's get into it, Manuelis Rojas Martin.
Yeah.
I like it better when I intro us because I get to say that. Hey, Carla. Carla's one of the people I'm giving a shout out on the Hollingsworthless tomorrow.
Yeah.
What up, Carla? Let you if I don't know if you heard Carla, but I'm giving some shout outs tomorrow on the Hollingsworthless. Right. MS Scott Jordan, what up? Okay, our teaser last week. Credit to Manny. This fucking killed me. What are our thoughts on the Queen? Fuck the Queen. The Queen losing Prince Philip, her husband of 74 years. Should she get back in the dating game? The Queen is 92. Oh, Mike. Hey, look, Mike Wally Walters is in here. What's up, Mike?
Walter. Yeah.
Dude.
Legendary.
Mike is for those that don't know, Mike is a comic impressionist from Seattle. He does Don Rickles, who I would put as one of my goats of comedy. Also gave me spots when I was coming up. I remember we did a show. God, this is turning into a Hollingsworthless.
That's right.
No, Mike.
People know who the legendary man is.
She joined Tinder. Mike said. I think that'd be more like Ashes. I don't know if it'd be Tinder. But no, Mike. I remember we did a show at a winery, and you had to be clean. And that's not my thing. But I had an okay set, and Mike afterwards was like, "Jesus, you got to make me fucking work." And I was like, "Oh, thanks, Mike." Mike's great. Okay, so thoughts on a 92-year-old getting back in the dating game?
I thought about this, and I don't know why it popped in my head, but I remember Al Gore, like him and his wife got a divorce when I think that they were in their 70s. So
was it Al Gore? No, who was it that like divorced their wife when she was like going through it?
Oh, never mind. I was gonna say George Lopez, like his wife gave him like a kidney or something, didn't she? Or like. And he left her afterwards. I was like, "That's
what a SF-49er girl." He's like, "You can keep the ring. I'll keep the kidney."
I mean, how mad would you be if, let's say, you're with Beyonce, and then all of a sudden,
nothing. You don't have to say anything else. I would not be mad. Whatever. The fact that I was with Beyonce at all, she can do whatever. She can take my dick. I've hit the mountaintop.
Can you imagine that? She's like, "You won't be needing this, motherfucker."
Yeah. Who was the comic that had? Oh, Sam Kinison, where he fucking unplugged it. He guess he won't be needing this.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's interesting, dude. So I was just talking to somebody. Fuck, now I got to remember who it is. They have been married, or they've been with the same person for 10 years, and they met him when they were 55. And I was like, oh, that gives me hope because I'm 50, about to turn 50. Jesus. Right. And single. But I'm like, God, can you imagine being 92 and like, okay, Queen, let's show you how to download some apps. Yeah.
Yo, it would just be crazy. I mean, 74 years. That's like, some people don't live that long, and it's like they must have met when they were like teenagers or probably
and their cousins.
Ooh, yeah, that's right. So
that's a fucking English shit.
The Irish hate the English, so
yeah, we just fuck sheep. What? Hello. Hello. PC
would-
Manny, can you do that for my people?
We just want to say here on the Holly, or not, sorry, on the Love and Black and White podcast. I'm so used to doing it on the other one. That you know what, the Irish are great people, and they have been also an oppressed people, but they do not fuck sheep. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, the Scottish do. Okay, PC Manny. No, just all right. Yeah, yeah, what I mean,
After, yeah, I'd say after. I mean, here's the thing. What if she ends up living to be 120 years old? Are you really going to be single for the next 30 years?
Jesus. I mean, there's all the memes that she's been around since before the dinosaurs. But, and also, okay, let's say she does get it back in the dating game, right?
Right.
See you, Mike. Good to see you, Mikey. Mike Wally Walters. That was a nice little surprise. But let's say she was getting back in the dating game by however, I don't know, somebody sets her up a fucking duchess or something. But you definitely got to fuck the first date at 92. I mean, you're like, well, there may not be a second date. You know? But I'm like, fuck, dude, you got to grab everything you can, cocks, whatever, you know?
Yeah, I definitely think at that age, there's nothing. I mean, what are you waiting for? Yeah, you're definitely banging. You know what I mean? And
maybe she goes by. Maybe she becomes a lesbian at 92. You know, I've had enough dick in my life. Yeah.
You know what the crazy part about that is? I mean, back then, and you know, I mean,
back then when the 1800s.
Well, I mean, like just 1800s, 1900s.
Yeah.
If you were a lesbian, you really didn't have any options. You know what I mean? It's not like you could date, but you risked your life doing so. You know,
you're a witch.
Yeah, exactly. You're probably getting burned at the stake. So you think about that, and it's like, can you imagine if she didn't like guys and she just had to carry on the facade for years?
Well, dude, and that dude was like a racist fuck, and it's your like. I mean, there's nobody like.
Is the baby going to be a darker shade of black?
Well, not and it's your fucking cousin. Like, I feel like people just kind of skimp over that. I'm like, what? Pulling down the diaper for sexy time. Oh shit, Tony Daniels in here. What up, Tony? Another Seattle comedy legend. What up, TD? With Mike Wally Walters was just in here. But yeah, dude, he said if you can dream it, there's a porn site for it. Hilarious. Yeah, that's oh man, 92.
Yeah, I mean, so I guess you got to be content if you've been with somebody 74 years. Getting back in the dating game is hard, but like I said, if I'm gonna be alive for the next 30 years, I don't know if I'm just gonna be single for the next 30 years. You know, it's like,
yeah, it's very very wishful thinking, very positive thinking. That's why, like I said, you got to fuck on the first dates. You're like what am I gonna get, herpes at 93? Fucking who cares? Exactly. Give me AIDS. I've fucking been this long. What do you got? What up, Jess?
I'm invincible.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you say?
So we say, yeah, she should get back in the dating game and just start fucking and sucking. Just toe it up.
Can you imagine that? She's just all on like TMZ and shit.
She starts doing porn.
Oh my god.
Oh fuck, dude. That reminds me of that thing I told you off, the one porn chick that only bangs black dudes. Right. God, yikes. All right. What do you say? You say, yeah, we agree. She should get into it. Travis Simmons would hit it. Tony said. Oh fuck. Oh, Jess. So sorry, Jess. Okay, you present the next one, Manulus.
All right. Jay and Manny, what age, if any at all, do you feel like men lose their sex drive or have drops in testosterone? Great question.
Oh man. Well, you're we'll say our age. You're how old, Manulus?
37. So,
and I'm 49.
Yeah.
Jesus
I mean,
Christ.
God, I already feel like I'm like having drops in my testosterone, so I don't know, like, but not like, I mean, so I would say it depends because it's like over.
Tony with she would have hella OnlyFans.
That'd be dope.
Only squires. This is stupid. But you were saying you feel like I definitely go ahead, you go.
Oh, well, I was just gonna say, I mean, like if I think about myself from the age of like 13, where you're like super hormones versus like 25 to 35, I would definitely say there's a dip. You know what I mean? I feel like probably when I was like in my early 30s, I'm always thinking about like, just ass and everything else, right? And then it's like I turned 35 and I'm just like, it's kind of like that which that Ty Barnett joke where he's like, it's kind of like a cupcake, like I love a cupcake, but I don't always need a cupcake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I don't want to make a cupcake at this age. Hey, what up, Natasha?
yeah.
Thank you. She said, what a great way to start the week. I definitely, along the same lines as what you said, well, women may not know this, but as like guys, it's like it, and because I always work with young comics, I'm always with young people a lot with, as far as, God, what am I fucking saying? Young people. Ugh. Well, like this weekend there was a guy that did a guest spot. He's probably early 20s and he's in a relationship, but I mean, there's comics that are just pussy hounds, excuse the terminology, ladies, but their focus is like getting laid. Where's the next piece of ass, this and that. Whereas I'm like, I do the shows, and then like we've talked about this before, we get done with the shows and we're like, all right, what documentary do you want to watch tonight? Yeah, I mean, I can't explain how great of a feeling it is where when we've done a show, we're back at our room, we're in the same room, separate beds, maybe. But you're over there, I'm in my bed, we're both relaxed, maybe we've showered separately, maybe. And we're just relaxing, your best buddy watching a movie or a documentary, and just totally. It's like total relaxation, and just it's like a mini vacation right after you work.
Right. I mean, 100%, because it's like for anybody who doesn't know this, like we always dreamed about that. That was like we always wanted to be like, yo, wouldn't it be dope to go on the road with your best friends? Because you always like we worked at the biggest club or one of the biggest clubs in Washington at the time. And you'd always see all these big headliners bringing their buddies, and they're just having a blast for a weekend. So it's like a little getaway for them. And then with us, it's like, oh shit, we get to do that now. But it's like we're not in the clubs. We're like, fuck it, let's go play Call of Duty. Let's go watch a documentary on like something scary as fuck, or let's go ghost hunting.
Dude. I definitely would say, my I mean, I still enjoy sex as much as anybody else, but it's not like I'll put it this way. Like, I think when you're younger and you're dating someone, that's like a kind of in the forefront, is like, when we going to fuck, whenever. Whereas now it's like, I mean, we'll get to it. Exactly. It's not like I've kind of been talking to a girl here in Vegas, and like we haven't been intimate or anything like that. We've been on a few dates, but we've canceled a lot of dates, both of us, for various reasons, but we're both like totally cool with it, like both very understanding, and it's chill. I think it was the biggest. What was the biggest?
Talking about
it was it was the biggest club in the Northwest. Tony, how old are you, Tony? You're what, like 70? No, I mean, Tony could probably have some input. Tony's fucking his great joke about he starts getting fat, and he's like, with women, he's like, guess I got to make more money.
For real. Oh man. But yeah, I think that, I don't know. So I would say for me, I think I started noticing the real decrease of probably 35. But part of that could also be because of a pandemic and putting on weight. So I may not have, the tip top, like, I fucking got up at, younger than Harold.
Yeah, Tony's got all this inside ball that people are like, who the fuck is Harold? Nobody knows this. Harold still owes me money. Shout out to that debt. I'd say probably like after 35, like I said, like getting laid wasn't in the forefront. My sex drive is still there, but it's not a driving factor, or
it's not like when we were 21, you know what I mean, where you're just, hey, let's go find somebody.
51. God damn, you look shitty for your. Yeah, just kidding.
No. Tony still looks like he's in his 30s. Man.
I know. Tony, when did you, or maybe you're just still slanging dick, or did you? Is there a time you felt like your sex drive fell off? What's crazy is, like, my dad. Dude, I remember being in high school. I've talked about it before. My dad was like a man whore for a while, and he would be I think he was like 45 or 50, bringing home like 21-year-old hot chicks, not just, oh, they're young. No, like hot and like crazy. What up, Sandy? Sandy, you got to listen to Hollings Worthless tomorrow, Sandy. I'm giving you a shout out.
It's interesting though to think about what our dads used to. So both of our, for people who don't know, I mean, for the fans who listen, our dads were whores. But
not with each other.
But they were whores in their own, respect. But I also think that they did a better job in maintaining their health because we live a very like sit down life, I guess. You know what I mean? This generation is built for comfort, where everything is, we stand on stage for maybe how long a day, and then it's back to sitting watching a movie or doing whatever, right? Our dads, like your dad was what? Was he a longshoreman or?
Yeah, he played pro football. Then he was in pharmaceuticals legally, and then he was the longshoreman was like the gist of his career.
Right. So I mean, he was still like he was up, moving around, whatever. And then I think about my dad. He was working retail, so he's walking around the store all day, staying in some sort of shape.
Yeah.
What did Natasha say?
Natasha said mature priorities are different and intimacy varies. That's fine as long as the intimacy is there in some form. I can't talk right now, but yeah, I agree. And Tony said about the sex drive thing, when you're young, it is more urgent. You got to have it or die. Yeah, I think Louis C.K. has that great joke where he's like, it's like a pressure thing. You just got to relieve the pressure.
Exactly. Yeah. But
yeah, I'd say it's about the same age for me, maybe 40-ish.
That makes sense. It's another thing is like I used to love to go hoop, but now it's like it's so much harder to get out there, and it's like, Jesus, are we really gonna go play basketball today? It's like I'll never forget. Me and Jay would go play basketball at like where were we at YMCA? Yeah. And we played like one game, and you're like, "Fuck it, I'm ready to go."
Dude, I remember. I think the last time like I played hoop, it was with Travis Simmons, Ty Barnett, Gomez, and we were playing Crunch or 21. I won one of the games, and I think Travis might have won the other one, but that was like the last time I remember. Dude, this one girl was like, "Oh, we should go hiking." I was like, "Nah, can't do it. Bum knee, can't do it." Doc said, "Don't be fucking putting a lot of walking or running on that." Running, yeah, right.
Yeah, last time. I mean, I remember one of the last times I played. It was with Tony and a bunch of like comics. And we were all so out of shape, and we made it a rule that nobody under 30 could play. And so it was,
that's a great fucking rule. Be like no running, light jogs. Jay and Manny, what are your thoughts on older men lusting over 18-year-old bad baby, aka Daniel Bragoli? Oh God, is that her name? That's the Catch Me Outside chick. On her OnlyFans, she made over $1 million in 6 hours. Was it?
I think you're right. Ugh. I mean,
dude,
that's crazy.
I think I think I might have done a video about that, a daily video. I don't remember, but Keon Poley posted a thing. He says there's a lot of pedophiles that were out there just waiting for it to be legal, and something to that effect. And yeah, I mean, dude, it's like here's one thing. We were talking about sex drive, and I guess like attraction and sex. It's like, and we've talked about it before on this. As you get older, at least for me, I gotta like the person. I can't just fuck an image. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there has to be substance there. Like when you're younger, the chick could be annoying as fuck, but if she's hot, your dick's like, let's do it. We're ready. Now I'm like this bad baby chick. Oh God, just listening to her, I'd be like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, it's like you got to have substance now. I remember, like you were saying, in my 20s. You know what I mean? It's like you could, you invite somebody over and then it's like they just talk and you're like, it doesn't really matter. And then, afterwards you're just like, so what time are you going to leave?
This I don't know if I mentioned this on this before or not on here. Did I tell the vegetables girl story? This girl, hot aerobics teacher, aerobics instructor. But she wasn't the brightest, but very sweet, That's how I justify it. But we were over at my buddy Ron's, and like we were getting pizzas, and and Ron goes, it says to her, I don't even remember her name, but he was like, "Oh, what do you like? What do you like on your pizza?" And she says, vegetables. And like the room just got quiet, and she didn't like, oh, I misspoke, let me correct it. It just sat there quiet for a second, and then Ron goes, because he's being a smart ass, he goes, oh, I didn't hear, what did you say, what do you like? And she goes, oh yeah, vegetables, and vegetables or something. And then Ron, this fucking cock, who buddy of mine, he's like, okay, so Jay, you want pepperoni, whatever this girl, you want vegetables, and I was like, and so that became like the running joke. He's like, oh, you still talking to vegetables?
Oh my god, that's the worst. When you know, it's like you're embarrassed because like I was hanging out with this girl, like I think I was like 24, and she was just dumb as rocks. And like when she'd come around, she'd just say dumb shit, and then everybody would look at me, and I was like, I don't know what to tell you. We're just banging.
Yeah, that's when you're like, I mean, I know, but look at that ass. Look at that ass.
Exactly.
That ass ain't dumb. That ass is stupid.
You know, as far as the Danielle Bregoli thing, I think that there is this weird, gross obsession with like, I mean, it almost seems kind of pedophilish. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get. I mean, she was just 17 the other day, and now you're like, so you've been like waiting for, you know, it's. They did the same thing with Britney Spears. You know, there's this obsession with like, you know, young women, man. And I don't get it. It's like, you know, to each their own, whatever you're attracted to. But I think that it's still gross to think of like, you know, damn, this person was illegal like yesterday, and now you're just obsessed with it. So
yeah, it's like, I mean, Tony Daniel said, young, here, I'll read it. You want to read it as Tony, or should I?
All right, I'll read it. Let's see. Young player thinks about how to get the booty. Old player is thinking about, wait, hold on, how he going to get rid of the booty. That's so true. So true. Man.
Sandy said, Jay, Manny, did you ever get embarrassed when you brought a less than unbeliever chick around your friends or friend? A less than unbeliever?
Less than, wait, hold on. Less than good.
Unbelievable, maybe that's like,
yeah. So maybe like a not very like, have you ever brought an ugly chick around?
By whose standards? I mean, like, you know, it's like it was. I mean, I'll give you an example. My thing is, I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks about who I'm with. You know, as far as like if they think they're hot or not, because like, you know, I'd have buddies like. Unintelligent. Oh, okay. I meant unintelligent. Okay, we were sitting there talking about physical. Yeah, it was the quite an intelligent way to spell it, Sandy. Hello. But every real man has had a flat tire. That's what Tony Danny said. Well, going back to I know this isn't your original question, Sandy, but I never gave a fuck what people thought of if somebody I was with was attractive or not, because like, you know, a lot of my buddies that were black were dating all these white chicks and blonde haired, and I blondes or white girls didn't do anything for me, you know, but I was be like, oh, that's cool, whatever. So I didn't give a fuck what, you know, what anybody thought about who I was with. As far as intelligent, yeah, that's when you're like, hey, I'll do the talking. It's cool.
Yeah. I mean, I remember hanging out with like two kind of like unintelligent chicks, and it was just, that's a hard thing to have around, where you know, they say something dumb and everybody just kind of looks at you, and you're, like you said, you're just kind of like, look at that ass though. You know what I mean?
Dude, I had a buddy, I'm not gonna say his name. Oh man, so this is, God, it's so weird to me to say this is like maybe around 20 to 30 years ago, but we used to go to Canada all the time. We had like almost like a network of places to stay. So we had our friends in Canada, Vancouver, BC. We had friends in Washington and friends in Oregon. And like, you know, and I lived in different places during that. But if you were in any of those cities, you had a place to go. You had a place to stay, lay your head. And we were in Canada, and my buddy there, I just remember there was like everybody was hanging out, everybody was smoking weed. I wasn't smoking weed, and my buddy didn't smoke weed, but everybody was kind of getting paired up with someone. And I wasn't here at the time. I heard this story later. But the weed's coming around, and my buddy, we'll call him Bob. So my buddy Bob, there was this girl sitting next to him that wasn't the most attractive in the group. And every time the weed would come around, he would go like this. He'd go, here, hit that. And so she'd smoke weed. It kept coming around, and he would never smoke. You go, hit that. And so as everybody's kind of pairing up, and it's just my buddy Bob and this girl, he literally out loud goes, well, I guess someone's got to take one for the team. And he's like, you ready to go? And they just left and then hooked up with this girl. I was like, Jesus.
Oh my God. Yeah.
What up, KL?
I'll never forget. So me and Crystal went to a 4th of July party. And it was a lot of my like older friends, and we brought this girl that I worked with, and she literally meets this guy at the party, goes and locks herself in the people whose house it was bedroom with this guy, and like the owner of the house can't get into their room, and like she's just hooking up with this guy in the room, and I'm just like, oh my God. And you're just embarrassed, man. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. Yeah.
We had a buddy that was he would bang anything, anyone, anything. And I remember excuse me, again, another story. I wasn't there, but this was relayed to me from my other buddy. But he was hooking up with a girl that you might have to PC this up. I don't know if she didn't have kneecaps, but she couldn't bend her legs.
Oh my God.
So she had an affliction of some sort, we'll just say. Yeah. Legs couldn't bend. And so he's in the bedroom hooking up with this girl, and the girl's brother is in the living room.
Yeah.
And this is like a white trash family. So he literally gets done banging No Knees Nancy, whatever the fuck her name was. And as he comes out, the brother says, yeah, man, did you nail her?
Oh, God.
It's like, what the fuck?
It's so fucking awkward. Oh,
dude.
My God. That reminds me of, did you ever hear Theo Vaughn's story about the time he hooked up with just this random girl, and like they were messaging, and he goes like, she's like, the door's open, just come on in. And he jumps into bed with her, and he's like filling her up. And then he goes down her leg, and then all of a sudden it comes up too fast, and he's like already at her ass, and he's like, something's not right here, because he's drunk, but she didn't have a leg or something like that, or she didn't have
yeah. I don't think she had a leg. Sandy said, this is interesting. I would think guys wouldn't get embarrassed by women they bring around, because other guys are like, she is just for smashing, right? Excuse me. I mean, when you're younger, definitely.
Yeah, but when you're older, I think that shit does matter. Like,
yeah,
I would be so embarrassed to like bring somebody around that was just like, because you're thinking about later in life, that this could possibly be the one, or you could go the distance, and then all of a sudden they're just, slow or dumb, and you. I mean, that would be so embarrassing to me to be like, because especially being around a bunch of comics, they're gonna like just rip this shit out of you.
I mean, that dude, that vegetable girl, vegetables, that story still sticks around. That was, that's 30 years ago, right? But Ron will still, like, anytime somebody's about to say vegetables, he'll say vegetables, and we always laugh about that story. I remember, dude, this is I don't know why. Oh, I know why I thought of this, but here I'm presenting a scenario to you, Manulus.
Yes.
Yes, Sandy, intelligent women do matter. Hell yeah. Okay, so this actually happened to me. So I'm gonna paint a picture for you. We won't do the role playing, but I want to know how you would have handled this. Okay, you're on the dating apps, hypothetically. Okay. You're on the dating apps, you're single, you match with a girl, very beautiful, real pretty, right? You've seen full body pictures, so everything checks out, smoking body, beautiful face, all that. You haven't talked to her on the phone, you have her number, you've text, right?
Right.
So you plan everything via text, what time to pick her up, whatever. You get to her place, you knock on the door, she opens the door, and I'm not trying to be funny, I'm prefacing this for PC Manny. I'm not trying to be funny on this. I'm not trying to make a joke. This is legit. This is something that happened to me in my life.
Okay.
She opens the door, and she had been in a car accident after since those pictures she had posted. Okay. So her left side is basically like somebody that's had a stroke. I don't know how else to say it. Like her, it's like, and and it's like, you know, she can't move, like she's really having trouble moving one side of her body, and she's slurring her words. You know, she had brain damage from this car accident she was in. And I'm like, why the fuck? You know, what the fuck, man? Now I'm here. We planned this date, and I planned a date with the girl in the pictures. You know?
Right.
I'm like, what the fuck? And you know, and it's like, what do you do in that to not be an asshole? Because yes, thank you, Natasha. Yeah, I'm like, I mean, it's like my story about the, you know, the date I had with the well, it wasn't a full date, but the going out with the trans chick. I'm like, why wouldn't you put that you're trans? So I'm like, so how would you handle that, Manny? So you whatever, let's say it's your physically your dream woman, you know, from these pictures, and then she opens the door, and yeah, and I'm not even gonna like make fun of how she was talking, but you get the idea. Like, so what do you do? How would you? And then I'll tell you what happened with me. But
so this is my very passive aggressive way of dealing with that.
I would propose.
I would get married, call it a day. No, I probably would change the date. You know what I mean?
Especially you're at her house though, picking her up.
I know, yeah, we're picking her up, right? And you know, so if
I thought you meant like you would change what day you were doing it.
No,
okay,
no,
sorry,
no.
you're adjusting the date.
Yeah,
you're like, yeah, I guess we're not going roller skating.
Fucking asshole. Wait, so you're going? So you guys were going to dinner? I'm guessing.
Yeah, I think we were gonna go to dinner.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to the movies. We're gonna go to a movie date, because then that way you don't have to really have much of a conversation. You don't have to worry about it. And I'm going to sit on her best side.
The reason I'm laughing is it's like, I want everybody to know, everybody knows Manny is the nicest one on here. Manny is the nice one. And it's like, it's this sound, you know, like somebody that doesn't know you or doesn't know this sounds so fucked up, but like, dude, okay, keep going. Sorry.
You know, I'm with you though. I would feel like, I mean, just communication wise, like, that would be like if I posted a picture of a white guy online. I go on a date with somebody and then they show up and they're like, but you're black. I'm like, does that matter? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, of course, if that's what you're
I identify as white.
Exactly. But I mean, like, but I would go to a movie and, you know, just kind of, I mean, that's kind of, you know, I guess it wouldn't matter what side you sat on. You know what I mean? But I'm just being real. I'm going to.
Well, you're probably not going to sit on her left side because
maybe she can't. Yeah, she can't communicate. Yeah. So
she's not going to be able to get popcorn.
Fucking dick. So I mean, in all honesty, I would go to the movie. We just have a movie date, and then probably just try to have a conversation on the way home, and then drop her off.
I know what you mean, but that sounds so fucked. Try and have a conversation with her.
I mean, you know, like you said, it didn't sound like she could really have a conversation. So I mean, you know, not that I can't, like, you know, I want this person to be able to have a relationship, but it is contingent on them being honest, right? So it's like you can't, like we said with the trans person who was trying to date you. You know what I mean? It's like you can't just not say that up front, you know. And
I'm just laughing at like somebody, if this is their first time tuning in, they're like, wait, what? There's a trans person right today.
But I mean, like, you've got to communicate those things. It's not fair. I like, and here's the thing. This is kind of a PC Manny moment, but we want you to be safe no matter what you are. So if you're trans, I don't want anybody hurting you. I don't want anybody getting upset. But I think that if you don't communicate those things up front, you're setting yourself up for a possible like bad altercation with somebody, you know what I mean, who's put in a weird situation. Sometimes you got to hit for the bit.
Tony Daniel said you got to hit for the bit. Oh, fucking Tony.
You know, back when
yeah, you know, that's the other thing too is, and I'm adding this into when I tell the trans story, like at the beginning, I'm gonna be like, you know, because I say in the thing, I don't mean any ill will. Right. Excuse me, I just not my thing. And I'm like, I gotta add in the joke, like, we can have preferences, right? Like, you know, can you be like, I don't really like blondes, and are people gonna judge you for that? Well, then can I say I'm just not really into trans women? It's just not my thing. I don't wish them ill will, no malice. I want them, you know, go find love. Okay, but Manny, why would you go on the date at all if she misrepresented herself? That's what Sandy asked.
Yeah, it's just because I'd feel so bad
Because
once I got there. And I'm just a nice guy. You know what I mean? I would just be like, well, so
so
I
I'll
mean,
tell you what happened. Oh, go
in
ahead.
all honesty, with the trans situation, me, I probably would have just gone on the date and just been nice and been like, hey, this isn't gonna work. You know what I mean? And just so
And then she'll be like, well, can I get a blowjob? Piece it up, please.
We just want to say that blowjobs should be welcome for everybody. I don't know.
Emaretta, yes, she did. Your ass, then she'll call you thinking you are interested. See, Sandy, I love it. Sandy's not letting you get it.
Smarter than me. I'm
okay.
Just,
I know. Sandy or Manny, you should know by now, Sandy, from watching this. Manny, again, he doesn't want to hurt anybody's feelings, and Manny doesn't like conflict. He doesn't want to.
Shout out to Carla though. Like, yeah, I should make her pay.
You'd be like, I guess you can only pay half.
Oh my God. We just want to say here on the Love and Black and White podcast that if you have any type of physical ailment, that we are praying for you and we hope that you get better. And you know what? That this is a comedy first and foremost podcast.
Yeah.
Then a love
jokes.
podcast.
Just
second.
jokes.
We're just jokes.
Yeah.
Jokes.
All these stories could just be horseshit. These could be made up.
Yeah, but at the same time, we do love you and we thank you so much for tuning in if you're listening. So
okay, so this is what happened. So she opens the door and God, dude, I mean, and this, I don't know how to make this not sound fucked up. So I just got to say it. Manny, quit being nice, Victoria. So my first emotion was angry. I was angry. I was pissed. I was like, because I'm like, why the fuck wouldn't you tell someone or post current pictures and put in the thing, hey, I was in I had brain damage. I was in a major car accident, and let the person go from there.
Right.
And dude, oh fuck, man, it was so brutal because I canceled the date. I mean, I didn't just, I wasn't just like, fuck you, the date's off, but dude, I'm trying to remember I remember her opening the door. I remember it was like, there was the stairs there and we were kind of in her kitchen and she was like, kind of like, okay, let's go. And I was like, and I don't remember how I got to it, but basically I was saying like, I didn't sign up for this. I mean, in so many words, fuck, dude. And I was also pissed that now it's making me feel like the asshole. But fuck.
I guess I'm kind of with you because if I'm in a wheelchair and I post pictures of me skiing or going snowboarding, it's kind of a misrepresentation of what I'm going to be capable of doing, right? And I just, but I mean, like, goddamn, that would be so hard to just like see. That's why. But I mean,
it is, honestly, Sandy. Yes, it was. She asked if this was a real thing. It was. This is again 20 some years ago.
But honesty is the best policy with everything. So it's just like, thank God I'm married, then I don't have to deal with that shit. But it's like, that's the difference between me and Jay for anybody watching. It's like, I'm way too nice and I'd be like, well, I mean, she did look like that at one point in time. And, then I go on the date and just be a little annoyed. But it's my passive aggressiveness. And Jay has seen it bubble up to where I snap. And then it's, it's an issue.
Then he starts calling me cracker and shit like that. It's not good. No. Yeah. And it was, I think that's the only date that I canceled. Like, I mean, because I've done that where there's no, dude. Did I tell the story about the stories. Oh man, I have so many fucking wild dating stories. You wait, hold on, let me catch up. Hi Jane, Manny, what up, Felicia? Natasha said you can do adapted skiing and boarding though. Just fence sitting on that one PC Manny. And Sandy said that's some fun girlish from Good Times. Michael thought he was getting a hottie and she was, oh, I remember that episode. Okay, so I don't remember if this is another example of like I just went through with the date. And this was the last time I ever met somebody from online dating without seeing a picture. Right. I matched with this girl. I don't know if I've told this on the podcast on this one before or not. Matched with this girl. This is when I was living in Seattle. And she didn't have any pictures. I did, because I'm always like, I'd rather I put it all out there. If I'm not your flavor, cool. And I remember she said she was thick. She was a hair, she was a beautician. So my thing is like, oh, her hair is going to be fly, nails, all that shit, right? And she said that in her profile, she said she was curvy. Again, no pictures. So I was like, oh, so you're curvy? And she's like, yeah, I'm like thick. And I was like, okay. Because thick is the spectrum of thick is fucking, and what other people think is thick or not, So I was like, oh, is there any celebrity that you're like built like? I think, I probably said it a little more eloquent, but that's what I asked.
Friday when she said Janet Jackson.
yeah, dude. And so I was like, is there anybody you're like built like, so to speak? And I remember she said Queen Latifah, and I was like, God damn it, because there's different variations of Queen Latifah.
Yeah, because Queen Latifah be looking good sometimes.
Yes,
then, there's other times when I'm just like,
it's I'm like, is it like fucking this Queen Latifah, or is it Queen Latifah in this movie?
I mean, it's also kind of like Oprah, right? Like Oprah, she has some good looking days.
Oh yeah,
I mean? Like where Oprah kind of got it. And so anyway,
so we decided we're gonna go on a date, dude. And this is, again, these are all fucking, these are wild stories from back in the day. We were gonna go to Red Robin down what's the mall past South Center Mall? The next one down, like in Federal Way.
Oh, the Commons.
Yeah, whatever that one is. We were gonna go to, I think, Red Robin there or something. So
okay. I'm
pulling up, and I was like, oh, I'm parking right now. I'm talking to her on the phone. Yeah, exactly, Carla. Queen Latifah at what age? So yeah, this was the last time I ever met somebody without seeing a picture. So
yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm about to park, and she's like, what car are you in? And so I explained it, and she goes, oh, I see you. I'm over here. Mm-hmm. So as I'm pulling close to her, she's wearing a form-fitting black dress.
Right.
And I don't know if she's overweight or pregnant. And now I'm like, God damn it. I mean, if I was a true asshole, I'd just been like, beep, beep, see ya. Just took off. But I'm like, fuck. And we were talking about, we were going to get something to eat. And then I think we were going to go to a club or dancing or something afterwards. So we're at Red Robin. I'm like, so I'm stuck in this date now. And I know instantly not my type, right?
Right.
So we're walking into this is so fucked up. We're walking into the restaurant, and she's walking in front of me. I'm behind her, and they're walking us to our table. There's two, oh dude, it gets worse, Felicia. There's two black dudes at a table to our left that are eating. She walks by them, and she doesn't hear them, but I hear them. Every time she takes a step, they do the Jurassic Park thing. They go, boom, boom. She doesn't hear it, and I just go, oh my fuck. Oh my God.
People are assholes.
So now we're eating, and we're eating dinner, and somebody calls me. I have no idea who it is. And I'm like, this is my out. This is my way out. I answer it, and I don't know what they say. I'm talking over them. I go, hello. And I go, oh my God, are you okay? I was like, oh dude, we just got our food. I'll be there as quick as I can. Where I'll call you when I'm leaving here. I hang up, and I say to her, my buddy was in an accident. He's at the hospital. I got to go there right now. And we finished eating, and then I paid for it. And then I was like, goodbye. But,
oh my God. Hey, hats off to you though. I mean, that's such a, I mean, God, I truly think that you have to like post a current.
It was the fake call, Felicia. I'm sure my buddy was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I was just saying if you wanted to play some video games. Accident, what are you saying? And I will say this though, before all this, a girl that I dated for like 3 years, I met from an online dating site, and she didn't have a picture at the time. This girl, Cho, that I dated, Chodong, she was Korean and black. And I remember we had talked, we had set up a date, and I remember I'm sitting, and again, I had my pictures up, so she knew what I looked like. And I remember seeing her walking towards me, like, and before I saw her, I'm thinking, I'm like, God damn it, is she gonna be like some beast or whatever? And then as soon as I saw her, I was like, oh fuck, I hope she thinks I'm all right still, because she was fine. She was Korean and black and just thick, God. Good thick.
Yeah, that's such a. I mean, in all fairness, it's like the person once again didn't
what up, Jessica? Sorry.
that'd be like if I said, oh yeah, no, I look like a young Denzel. I'm like, no, not right now. No, not at this point in time.
What if I said that? I look like an old Denzel. Oh fuck. Oh shit. I don't even know what topic we're on.
Here, no, I
I
got
kind of went on a tangent with
that's
horrible
right.
dating stories.
All right.
Oh, we
So,
did the bad Barbie thing. Yeah.
so okay, here we go. I got the next one. So NFL number 1 draft pick Trevor Lawrence just got married 2 weekends ago. Did he move too fast? What would be your advice prior to him getting married?
Trevor Lawrence got married last weekend. I don't know. Like, I don't know his. Do you know the story with him and who was his fiance?
I'm guessing that they were together like a long time before, but it's kind of like, I mean,
Russell
damn.
Wilson.
Yeah, that's the one thing I wonder. It's like Russell Wilson, did he make a bad choice? Clearly, I mean, I just think that sometimes people get married too young, and it's like, will he have regrets that he didn't go about living his life? But then again, not everybody has to go out and be a man whore, right? So,
Yeah.
but,
Mr. Unlimited.
oh man, yeah, Russell's situation. It was interesting though, because both sides I can see, like, this dude was so obsessed with football that he didn't have time for his lady. And then of course your lady goes and seeks time elsewhere, and
did she cheat on him?
I think she did. And the rumor has it was with Golden Tate. And so yeah, and it was, I remember somebody,
he was like, Golden, how's my dictate?
I will never forget, somebody from the Hawks told me that it was at Marshawn Lynch's like house, but Marshawn wasn't there. There was just a party going on, and those two disappeared into a back room. So, I mean, he's with Sierra now, so it all worked
That's
out.
what Natasha said. Yeah, he's absolutely fine now. Yeah, and Sierra, Nummy. I don't know. I would have to know their, like, I'm assuming they were probably high school sweethearts or something like that. And
right.
I mean, fuck it, I don't think it's.
I mean, it's,
if you're who knows? I think your next one is very interesting though. You want me to present it?
Oh yeah, go for it. Yep.
So have you seen that documentary?
I did. The one with
I did too. Yeah. Okay. So the question is, in light of the recent Woody Allen documentary, why do you think so many are willing to look the other way with Woody Allen with his pedophilia? Great questions. Yeah, that documentary. I didn't know too much. I mean, I knew that he married the adopted daughter, but apparently, there was like, everybody had like a certain thing that why it was supposed to be okay, so to speak. And I didn't know all the details with the one daughter that he molested, and it was an
adopted daughter.
Yeah, dude, it's all, I don't know. I mean, I've never been like a guy that's like, oh, fucking Woody Allen. I know people, he's supposedly a great filmmaker. I say it so flippant. He's got all these awards or whatever, but I never was like, oh, fucking Woody Allen. That's a great question. I mean, people look the other way for a long time with R. Kelly and
Michael Jackson, right? I mean, like, if he did it, I don't know. No, I'm just kidding.
Cosby.
Cosby. Yeah, I think that, hold on, what did Carla say? Probably for the same reason no one did anything about R. Kelly for those years. That's a great point, because I do think that there is this side of, celebrity where people just want to make sure that they want to get paid, right? And when somebody is, lining your pockets, it's easier to look the other way, I think, for certain people. So for instance, you've got an R. Kelly, and he probably had, and also people love his music. So it's like, I know with Michael Jackson, I haven't seen the what is it, Leaving Neverland, but I'm sure if I did, I may feel different about him. It's also a thing of like, I'm still shocked that even after those alleged allegations, that parents were still allowing their kids to go hang out with Michael Jackson, right? And so it's like, I don't know. I mean, but with Bill Cosby, how many people wanted to believe that he was still Dr. Huxtable? They wanted to see the good guy in it. They didn't want to believe that guy could be anything. Let's see what Sandy say.
They will do that when you're a paid yes person. People make the ill decisions. Yeah, it's like, there's certain, a lot of times people will say, oh, you can separate the art from the artist. I can't really do that with like pedophilia shit. Right. That's a tough one for me. Like, I don't know. I'm like, I'm trying to think of an example of somebody that, whatever, they went to jail for something where I could be like, I don't know, they robbed a bank. I could separate the art from the artist there. But like, I mean, even like Chris Brown, like the shit with Rihanna,
Yeah.
I don't know. What's this? Mercier.
With Cosby, the judge blocked his witness in first courtroom. That's unprecedented, sir.
Dude, is your fucking keyboard? Are you typing on your phone?
The thing with Cosby though is like how many people came out the woodwork. You know what I mean? To say and as comics, we knew this for years. I remember hearing about it from multiple comics. This is long before whatchamacallit, gosh, what's his name? Made a joke about it.
Yeah, what's his name? I was gonna say Lil Rel. It wasn't Lil Rel.
No,
it was
he's from Chicago though. I can't think of it. Hannibal Buress.
Yes.
Yeah, long before Hannibal made jokes about it, we were just kind of like, I mean, people knew in the industry that this had been going on, and I do think that kind of like Sandy said, when you surround yourself with nothing but yes men, you're lining people's pockets. I think that with the Woody Allen thing, I mean, it's crazy when you watch the documentary. There were people that were like, they were making this kid's therapy seem like, I mean, everything added up to where she was saying the exact same thing over and over, and they weren't following protocols of that you're only supposed to, interview a child only so many times. I mean, there's just so much fucked up shit about it, and if you watch it, I mean, it's a really good documentary. It's hard to watch, but I mean, it's just crazy to see that all these people looking the other way.
Yeah, the Cosby thing I look at as far as like the looking away thing or not, trying to separate the art, I think is the same as like the Weinstein shit.
Yeah.
Like people behind closed doors kind of always knew. I think it was Courtney Love fucking said it on like a red carpet about Harvey Weinstein, and it was kind of just a known thing for years. And you wonder, you're like, well, why didn't anybody ever fucking on any of these like call it out, or why wasn't it dealt with when it was happening back in the day? Woody Allen, I couldn't give two shits about Woody Allen.
I mean, and I think that some people are crippled by power, right? It's like if they are in the celebrity world and somebody can cancel you, I think that people are afraid to speak up. R. Kelly pees on kids. I'm gonna leave it there. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. Like, there's no song good enough that can make me okay with anybody doing that shit, And
so what's okay, people in the chat, what's the thoughts on Chris Brown? Because like, I mean, with Chris Brown and Rihanna, I mean, I mean, it's, and then you don't know, fucking so much shit comes out afterwards, like there was, I think, supposedly Rihanna gave him herpes was something I heard at one point, and I don't know if that's true. And then there's some saying Rihanna, I don't know. I always, that always bothered me though, like where everybody, it just kind of, fucking girls that are fawning over Chris Brown, and I'm like, this is a motherfucker that beat the shit out of this lady, man.
That's so hard for me, because it's just like, you think about, as a young kid, should one moment define your entire life? Because we can all make mistakes, but at the same time, it's like,
damn, Sandy.
I don't ever, there's no reason to ever put your hands on a woman. That's where I stand. And if you do that, you're dead to me. You know what I mean? Like, I just can't fuck with you. If, I had a buddy who told me he put his hands on his wife, and I didn't talk to him after that. And so,
I know. I'm just glad we can finally do this podcast. That's a joke. I've never. Please PC Manny that. That's a bad joke.
Jay has never ever put his hands on a woman or gotten violent in any way, shape, or form. He loves all people and all things, especially wrinkles.
Yeah. It's I was concerned with her. I did hear where people say she gave him herpes, but I didn't believe it. And I mean, I don't fucking know.
Only they know what that whole situation was about. So, but I mean,
yeah, I'm like, I'd say Chris Brown has some anger issues.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? It's like, is there a graph? SF or San Francisco 49er girl said he's canceled in my book. I'm like, is there a graph, or like, what are the levels? What can you separate the artist from the art? Like, Shoplifting, yeah, I could do that.
Yeah.
I could separate the artist from the art. And but at what level do you start going like dude, like Louis C.K., fucking he got canceled, and from what I understand, he asked people if he could masturbate in front of them. They said yes, and then years later they said and they said yes, and was telling people and laughing about it, like, oh, I couldn't believe it. And I know more to the story than probably a lot of people, because I won't say how I know, but I know a lot to the story. But the gist of it is, asked somebody, hey, I'm into masturbating in front of people, can I masturbate in front of you? Person says yes, he does it. Everybody's cool at that time, and then 10 years later they're like, oh, he was in a position of power, and I did say yes, but still he got canceled. And I'm like, fuck, it's I don't know, shit like that. Or like Aziz Ansari, he was canceled for a while until people are like, well, this is fucking crazy,
Yeah, I mean, he had just gotten a blowjob, and I think that she said that he was in a place of power, and that's why she felt like she had to. And so, yeah, I don't know, man. It's there's so much.
I wish I could say Mercy Ye Litre. I don't know. I'm just going to say Mercy. Chris Brown was documented at 17 years old that night. And I guess he's saying, and Rihanna was 19 years old. Are you gentlemen going to say anything about the fact that he was a teenager yelled at by an older woman? Okay. So you're saying if an older woman yells at you that you can hit them? Is that what you're justifying? Yeah. Somebody that's 2 years older that you're dating? I mean, okay. So, are we going to say anything about it? I think I just did. So I don't know what the point of that is. So they were dating. It was both consensual. I mean, I guess I don't know what the where they were at or whatever. Yeah, but I don't think that me saying, oh, okay, so she was 19 yelling at a 17-year-old, and then now is it okay? So then I don't get what your point is. Like that justifies him beating the shit out of her. I don't there's agree no with
reason,
that.
Like, at least, I don't ever believe there's a reason to put your hands on a woman. It's like, as a man, you can always walk away. You know what I mean? Like, here's the thing. If she had hit him first in his car, it's as easy as
Sandy said, I'm about to give my same drunk lady finger to somebody in this chat. Fuck.
Yeah.
Sorry, finish what you're saying.
Yeah. But I mean, it's as easy as like, okay, if a woman hits me and I'm in a car, I'll pull over, let me take my keys, get out of the car. She can fuck up my car or whatever, but that's we'll deal with that later. You can always walk away. You can always find a way to diffuse the situation. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I'm trying to. I'm trying to think in my life if I've ever got to where. So I'm like, I mean, I'm pretty calm. It takes a lot for me to get upset. I remember probably the maddest I might have ever been was this girl Lillian. This is fuck, dude. This is probably 21, but this girl, I had been on a couple of dates, and we were staying at her friend's house, and me and Lillian that night, we had banged or whatever. And I woke up again. This is a house. First time I'd ever been at this house. We spent the night there. I wake up in the morning. Everybody is gone, including Lillian and my car.
Oh shit.
My car's gone. Lillian's gone. The girl whose house it is gone. Lillian had a daughter. Her daughter's gone. I'm in this stranger's house. This is really like right at the beginning of cell phones. Fucking God, I'm old. So I don't think she had a cell phone. So and this goes on for all day. My car's gone. They're gone. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I don't know even where I'm at to tell somebody to come get me. Shows up like, I think like 4 or 5. Her friend walks in first, and her friend looks at me and can see how pissed I am, and then just kind of like laughs and then gets the fuck out of the way. Lillian walks in, tells me like I don't know what they did. They did something that day. Her daughter threw up in my car, so then they had to go get the car cleaned and all this shit. And I was like, I go, just give me my keys. And I told her, she's like, can we talk? I was like, I don't want to talk right now. It's not going to be anything you want to hear. And I just I left. But yeah, I'm stuck on chicks' names. Me and Lillian. She looked like Teresa Randall. That was the girl's name from Girl 6, was that what it called?
I think so. Oh, okay.
She's fine. Lillian was fine, but yeah, but she ain't fine enough for me to be like, take my, didn't ask, just fucking took my card. Really didn't know this girl that well. And fuck, dude, I was so fucking pissed. That was probably one of the most pissed I've ever been. But I was just like, I need to get the fuck out of here. Cookie said, my mama told me never put your hands on anyone, especially man, because he shouldn't hit you, but there's no guarantee that he won't. Yeah. I'm trying to catch up with all these. Natasha said, "Miss me, Mayor." With Mario Battelli, even the show he was on was canceled. Who's Mario Battelli?
Look him up real quick. Hold on.
Okay, while you're looking, Emeretta, sipping on Emeretta. CK asked, and they said yes. He didn't threaten them, to our knowledge. That's a different story. Mayor, you hit women? ? And N is in the chat. What's up, N? No one should put their hands on anybody, man or woman. Amen, Felicia. I agree. For that, I will say hello, Felicia, not bye, Felicia. I don't know who the fuck that dude is. Looks a little bloated. Didn't do CK do that stuff in the workplace? KL asked, did CK do that stuff in the workplace? So I'll give you a little info or inside info from what I understand. Again, I can't reveal how I know this, but so my understanding is CK was with some female comics, and I'm trying, as I'm telling the story, I'm trying to be somewhat vague, right. But they were talking about, so it's comics, they were at a festival, and he, from my understanding, they were talking about like how people have weird kinks, sexual kinks. And CK brought up, well, there's weird stuff that I'm into. And these girls are like, well, what are you into? And he goes, I like masturbating in front of women. And they were like, shut up. And he's like, no, that's like my thing. And they're like laughing and they're like, you're joking. And he goes, no, we can go to my room right now and I'll do it. It's like nothing to me, but that's just kind of my thing. And they're like, okay. So they go to his room and they're like, okay, let's see it. So he's like masturbates in front of them. They're laughing. He finishes. And that was it. And he's like, yeah, see, that's like, I'm into that. So then they tell other people at the festival, they're like laughing about it. Fucking Louis C.K. fucking jacked off in front of us. It's crazy. And it like is the talk of the festival. And then that was it. And then 10 or whatever years later, oh, we were uncomfortable. And so did it happen in the workplace? I guess it was at a festival, a comedy festival. But I mean, that's, from my understanding, that's how it went down. And if that is, I don't know what more CK could have done. Like they said, yeah, we want to see, and he's like, it's nothing to me. I don't know.
That's the tough part about it, though, right? Is like, consent can be on all sides, but then it's just like years later, you could feel kind of weird about something, and somebody could bring it up, and then, that's his.
Yeah, I mean, Victoria, you can take my car and my heart. Oh, that's also facts, Cookies. I'm trying to catch up to the. Oh yeah, Cookie about her never put hands on chef guy. Oh, he's a chef. That dude I said looked bloated. Mario, whatever it is. Thought he was an opera singer. Live is hopping today. Yes, it is. Now that being said, I will whoop on that behind if you put hands on me. Yeah, of course, Cookie. Nobody. I'm like, use your fucking words, people.
Yeah, seriously. Like
I don't mean you people.
We just want to say here on the Love and Black and White podcast that when he says you people, he just means everybody.
I didn't even say, I said people. And then don't forget to hit the like button. Look at fucking Felicia. Thank you. Don't forget to hit the like button, guys, as you come in. Fucking, we don't do that enough, Manny. I'm like,
yeah. And I just can't even begin to tell you guys how much we appreciate you guys tuning in, and just hanging out with us. It really means the world to us. I just want to actually try something. I want to see if somebody will leave us with a topic to talk about next week. We want to go.
Oh yeah, somebody can give us the teaser. Cookie asked a question really quick though. Okay, but seriously, Jay, would you do something like that? That screams of coming back to bite you in the behind. So that's not my thing I'm into. But so let's like I genuinely like kissing. So I don't like if somebody this is a weird scenario to do, but if I'm at dinner with girls and they're like, well, what are you into? And I'm like, I actually genuinely like kissing. And for some reason they were like, no, you're not. And I'm like, no, that's just like, I like the other stuff, but I like, sucking on lips and kissing and this and that. And someone was like, and someone that was attractive, and she was like, well, I don't believe it, or would you kiss me? And I'd be like, yeah, that's fine. And so I could totally see like in that scenario, I could see myself if there's a girl I find attractive, and she's like, well, I want to experience this, kiss me. And then in my head, this is, you're saying you want me to kiss you, as in these girls said that they wanted to see Louis C.K.'s thing. Then I don't see a problem with it. I mean, I've said on here before that I don't date comics. And it would take a lot for a comic to approach me, or I mean, for me to date a comic, she'd have to be like, Jay, I want us to date. So Cookie, I could fall into that. Mercy, let's see, what's Mercy Latry say? So a teen boy gets titled as a man, even though the woman is adult, and the teen boy's weird males always blame the male, even when it is a teen. It's beyond hitting a woman, it's a teen. Okay, so your angle is that he's underage. Are you saying that she was raping him? Is that the angle you're taking? And you're still haven't addressed, like, okay, maybe it was illegal. I don't know what the age of consent is wherever they were at the time. I mean, they were both dating, as my understanding. I don't even know if these were the ages, but so you're saying in this scenario, it was okay for him to beat the shit out of her. That's what I'm trying to ask you. Are you trying to say that then he's justified in beating the shit out of this woman? I don't know what your point is. I mean,
yeah, I'm not following either, because that's I mean, yeah.
Fucking Nani said, Mercy, you need to go and reflect. But she invited you to kiss her, right? And correct, Cindy. That one, I don't know. I'm trying to keep up with all this. Yeah, correct, Cindy. In this scenario, the girls invited me to kiss her, and in the Louis C.K. one, Louis said what his kink was, and they were like, "We don't believe you." And he's like, "Well, I mean, I'll do it right now." And they were like, "No way." And he's like, "Yeah, it's nothing to me." And so they wanted to see it, so they went to his room. And it wasn't, and from my understanding, it wasn't like he's like, I'm going to hold this door and you guys can't leave. He just was doing it, and they could have left at any time. Or if they were like, once he pulled his dick out, if they were like, oh, fuck, you really are going to do this. Okay, we can't do, we're out. No, they were laughing through the whole thing. And then they told everybody, and we're laughing as they were telling everybody, dude, you'll never believe fucking Louis C.K.'s into jacking off in front of people. And he just did it in front of us. Too much info, I'm sure. Let me see. Jesus Christ. Let us pray for Mary. I appreciate the tenacity to some extent, but my friend, it's a no for me, from Natasha. It's cool. I understand. Male children are hated. I get it. Ooh, I think you might need some counseling. I don't know what your history. Yeah, but, using Translate to write. Thanks, Jay, for the extra information. Who's the chat moderator? Just me. And first of all, start highlighting this bullshit comments, because he's become beyond autocorrect and he's enraging us. Okay. Let's assign Felicia as mod. Is that how that works? Oh, Felicia. Ooh. Yeah, it could be Felicia or anybody. All right, so let's get in psychology, when a teenager having sexual relations with an older person, the older person is documented on that night screaming and yelling at the teenager is going to get physical. They are? Okay. Okay. Get him, Sandy. All right, so let's yes, if somebody wants to throw out the trailer or the teaser for next week, and yes, so anybody have a question they want to have as the teaser for next week for Manny or myself or both of us, or scenario?
Should we bring Tammy Joe back into the fold?
Yeah, Tammy Joe. Where the fuck did my phone go? Okay, so we're gonna give it a couple more seconds here as I'm looking at our what could be possible teaser. Did you say you had one, Manny? You thought? Oh, we did the Woody Allen thing. So and also with Mercy. So if they were the same age, then you'd be like, oh, it wasn't okay. Bring Phil and Ron on. Oh, fuck.
Ooh, that would be a good one.
Ron had fun, and he said he'd love to come back.
I bet he would love to come, Jay.
Yeah. Yeah. Bradley said, I don't remember hitting any of the adults who yelled at me.
Yeah.
I'll Bow Wow. Who brought Bow Wow into this? So we're talking about Chris Brown. Are you still playing Call of Duty? I haven't been on lately, Felicia. I am going to be on tonight, and I'm going to stream it.
Nice.
Fucking Sandy. I got Sandy. Woosa, Sandy. Think of us hugging at the show. Let's all right.
All right. So I'll leave us with the question. It's a pretty basic question, but and as far as
by the way, before you did, we did the DMX one last week, right?
I think so. Or did we do that on?
I think we did that one. Okay, do your thing.
I don't even know what I did. Oh, the come thing. Yeah, sorry. We just want to say here on the Love and Black and White podcast that it's okay for anybody to come. All right.
Oh, Natasha might have gave us one.
Oh, let's see what you got.
I do. Can I just say I love that people like the inside ball, like people that have been listening forever know Tammy Joe, and Quarren.
All right, you want to? Okay, scenario for next week. Let's do it.
Tammy Joe and Quarren start talking to each other about your relationships. What do you hope is out of bounds in terms of topics? Okay, I'm trying to think how we.
We'll come up with a role play. It'll be fun, and then maybe we will try to get
Ron and Phil
Ron
on
and Phil next week. That would actually be a fun podcast. Maybe a little bit later for our East Coast fans, just because I think Phil is working late nights. But I think it would actually be fun to have Ron break down Phil a little bit.
Oh, you know what?
Try to understand him.
Actually, I'll see if I can get that for next week. That would be dope. Okay, the people wanted it. We're gonna see if we can get it. I'll hit them both up and try and schedule that. That would be great. And so let's do what your teaser was going to bring.
Oh, I was just gonna say who should get the kids.
The goddamn it, and said bring Jurassic Park lady on here so she can defend her actions.
Oh man. Yeah, it's a pretty basic question, but I want to get your thoughts on who should get the kids in a divorce.
Okay, perfect. Okay,
because
now
plugs.
We're
both children of divorce, so
yes. Okay.
Yes, plugs. Not much still going on. Still trying to keep the numbers down for COVID. So I'm keeping my ass inside until I get that second shot, and then I will be back on the grind and maybe even opening up for Jay. So.
Yes, I hope so. This comes out tomorrow. So this Saturday, I'm going to be at. Actually, I'm not even going to plug that because I don't even know if I'm doing time, but I'm going to be there hanging out. So I'll just plug next week. All next week, I'll be headlining LA Comedy Club at the Stratosphere starting Monday the 26th through May 2nd. Also within that, Friday the 30th, I will be on Kev on Stage's Keep Your Distance comedy show, which you can watch virtually. So I'll be LA Comedy Club and Keep Your Distance comedy show on Friday the 30th. Cool. That's Friday the 30th. I won't be at LA Comedy Club because that's the only night.
And then I was going to say, make sure if you were at Jay's show this weekend that you tune in tomorrow for our live on the Hollingsworth list. We got a surprise for you guys. So
tomorrow?
Yeah.
We do? Oh,
I thought you were going to give
I'm giving shout outs tomorrow. For a couple people that are actually in here, but there is something that will be different about the Hollingsworth list tomorrow, which I don't know if you even know, Manny, but we'll talk about it afterwards. But until next time, Manulus,
we'll be putting the love back in your right. It's love in black and white.
Thanks, everyone.